Picture this. A man alone on a tiny boat tossed around by angry waves. This was Jose. His fishing trip had turned into a nightmare when a storm ripped his boat apart. Now it was just him and the vast, unforgiving ocean. Fear gnawed at his stomach. Would he ever see land again? Days turned into nights. Hunger gnawed at him. Thirst parched his throat, but Jose refused to give up. He clung to life, fueled by the faintest glimmer of hope. He scanned the horizon relentlessly, praying for a sign, any sign, of land. Then, one morning, a miracle. A smudge on the horizon. As the sun rose, the smudge grew into a distinct shape. It was an island. With the last of his strength, Jose paddled towards his salvation. The island was a mix of sandy beaches and dense jungle. Palm trees swayed in the breeze. Relief washed over Jose as his feet sank into the warm sand. He was weak, exhausted, but he was alive. The island might be deserted, but it offered a chance at survival. He explored his new home, his senses overwhelmed. The air was thick with the scent of unknown flowers. Strange birds sang in the trees. The jungle rustled with hidden life. It was a beautiful alien world, both exciting and terrifying. But the reality of his situation soon sunk in. He was alone. He had no food, no water, no shelter. Survival wouldn't be easy. He needed to act fast. The island may have offered a chance, but it also posed a challenge. Hunger and thirst were Jose's first enemies. He searched the beach for shellfish, his stomach growling. He found coconuts and learned to crack them open, savoring the precious milk and flesh. He noticed small edible plants and cautiously tasted them, learning which ones to avoid. Finding fresh water was a bigger challenge. He collected rainwater in large leaves, his heart soaring with each drop. He explored the interior, following the sound of bird calls, hoping to find a stream or spring. His efforts paid off. A small, clear stream trickled through the jungle, offering the promise of life. Each day was a struggle to find enough to eat and drink. He learned to fish using sharpened sticks and woven traps. He became adept at foraging, his knowledge of the island's bounty growing day by day. He was surviving, his body toughening, his senses sharpening. Shelter was the next priority. The relentless sun and occasional downpours were unforgiving. Jose gathered branches and leaves, learning to build a makeshift hut. It was crude, but it offered protection from the elements. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Jose settled into a routine. He woke with the sun, tending to his traps and searching for food. He improved his shelter, making it sturdier, more comfortable. He explored the island, learning its secrets, its rhythms, its dangers. He missed human contact, the sound of familiar voices. He talked to himself, to the birds, to the rustling leaves, clinging to his sanity. But he refused to give in to despair. He was a survivor, and he would find a way back home. There were dark days, days when loneliness threatened to consume him, days when the vastness of the ocean filled him with despair. He missed his family, his friends, the life he had left behind. But then the sun would rise, painting the sky with breathtaking colors. He would hear the birds sing their morning songs. He would feel the sand beneath his feet, the wind in his hair, and a spark of hope would ignite within him, urging him to keep going. He found solace in the natural beauty that surrounded him. He carved messages on large stones, leaving behind a record of his existence, his hopes, his fears. He never gave up hope that one day, somehow, he would be found. The island wasn't without dangers. Venomous snakes slithered through the undergrowth. He learned to recognize them, to give them a wide berth. He encountered wild pigs, their sharp tusks a threat. He learned to defend himself, using fire and his wits to keep them at bay. Then there was the weather. Tropical storms would sweep in with terrifying fury, lashing the island with wind and rain. His shelter, once a haven, would become a fragile shield against nature's wrath. He would ride out the storms, his heart pounding, praying for the sun to return. Each danger faced, each challenge overcome strengthened his resolve. He was a man reborn, forged in the crucible of survival. He was no longer the same man who had been shipwrecked on that fateful day. Jose never gave up hope of rescue. He built a huge SOS sign on the beach, using stones and branches. He kept a fire constantly burning, a beacon visible from afar. He climbed the highest point on the island every day, scanning the horizon for any sign of a ship. He carved messages on pieces of driftwood, entrusting them to the currents. He knew the chances were slim, but he clung to the belief that one day, one of his messages might reach civilization. Days turned into months, months into years. The hope of rescue began to dwindle. Yet, he persisted. He refused to let the island break his spirit. He would be ready, he told himself, if that day, that 1 in a million chance, ever came. Then one day, a speck appeared on the horizon. A ship! It was real! His heart pounded in his chest as he raced for his signal fire, frantically feeding the flames. The ship grew larger, drawing closer. They had seen him. A rescue boat was lowered. Tears streamed down Jose's face as he stumbled towards them. He was weak, his body ravaged by his ordeal, but he was alive. After 1,583 days, he was finally going home. The world had changed during his absence. But one thing remained constant: the human spirit's ability to endure, to hope, to survive against impossible odds. Jose's story was a testament to that indomitable spirit. Jose's story captivated the world. He returned a changed man, forever marked by his experience. He spoke of the importance of resilience, of never giving up hope, of the strength we can find within ourselves when faced with adversity. He had stared death in the face and emerged victorious. He had faced his fears and conquered them. He had learned that the human spirit is capable of enduring more than we can possibly imagine. His story resonated with people everywhere, reminding them that even in the darkest of times, even when all seems lost, there is always hope. And that sometimes all it takes to survive is the will to keep going, one day at a time.